Hello everyone, it's Kevin Champion again, the Senior Deputy at Open High School. The sheet clippers have come out, so I look a bit different to last time I fed back about our findings from the community consultation on remote learning. I would like to offer sincere thanks to the 167 parents and carers, the 72 staff and the 698 pupils who have given us such a wealth of valuable feedback. The large numbers of returns increases my confidence in the reliability of the data. And there are some clear correlations, particularly between the responses from our parents and carers and our young people. There are some clear conclusions, and I'd like to summarise the key findings and themes and to also let you know what our next steps are, some of which we have already enacted.
The evidence is clear that we have all contributed to improving the experience of remote learning, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for the huge efforts that you are all making to ensure this endeavour has been the success that it is, and for having the continued determination to make it even better in the future as we prepare for the new concept of blended learning. Remote learning has been a challenge for a small proportion of parents and carers, and for about 10% of our young people. As a result of feedback from our learners, including the regular supportive welfare phone calls by our pastoral teams, it is clear many of the difficulties are being experienced by pupils with additional support needs, such as dyslexia. Similarly, some of our colleagues have found this way of teaching challenging, mainly due to the steep learning curve in adapting to digital learning and balancing childcare and family life. There was a clear sense of pride in what our teachers have been able to achieve up until now, and their desire to continue to make blended learning work as well. There is a similar pattern with accessing and completing the learning resources, and we will continue to evolve our delivery, but it does highlight again the need to support some of our learners more. There is a very high rate of satisfaction for the different ways we are contacting and supporting families, and we are very touched by the warm comments about individual colleagues. It means a lot, and we are glad the community is finding our approaches appropriate and sensitive. We do have some concerns about the levels of engagement, as it declines from senior years down to S2, but we are monitoring this and supporting pupils as best we can to try and motivate them. We understand it can be very hard to supervise learning in a busy household with so many other competing needs, but we appreciate the tremendous effort many parents and carers are making. It is very encouraging to note the increase in young people saying they were getting better at keeping to a routine, and the average number of hours studying had increased to 2/3 of pupils doing 3 or more hours of study each day. There were also comments that the workload was more manageable and how parents were proud of the increased levels of responsibility their children were showing. I think it's also important to note that 80% of our teachers are spending 3 or more hours teaching and giving feedback each day, and that the preparation necessary to do this requires at least double that amount of time in order to create the learning resources such as videos, presentations, with voiceovers and so on, a Herculean effort to sustain over many weeks. Many colleagues are also continuing to develop professionally, and this all takes up their time, and we'd like to pay tribute to their professional dedication. This is having an impact on some colleagues' physical well-being, such as backache, eye strain and headaches, as well as it being difficult to separate one's personal life from work, and we must be mindful of these issues. There are still issues with IT, but we continue to do our best to address these. The main issues appear to be unreliable broadband and pupils finding it increasingly difficult if they only have a phone. Levels of anxiety have declined to some degree, and we are very mindful of the different ways we can support everyone if they need anything to help with this. However, there were many comments about how we are all missing the physical interactions socially that the current restrictions have stopped. There is an increased concern amongst teachers about the amount of screen time, up by a fifth or 20%. I would like now to focus on some specific issues raised and what we have already done or plan to do to address these concerns. Opportunities for group work and social interaction will be enhanced as Google Meets have increased, and Laura Morrison, one of our deputies, and I are already looking at the facilitation for remote group work as part of the blended learning after the summer. We will continue to improve the quality of the dialogue in giving feedback to learners about the quality of their work, about the next steps they should take. Laura Morris and I will be working closely with staff to ensure that we maximise the different approaches we think will be required for blended learning. I think the regular contact after the summer break with teachers in school will help everyone whilst they are learning remotely. We have planned to produce guidance to help parents, carers and our young people to understand what blended learning will look like and how to be successful. We are also planning to develop opportunities for parents and carers to engage with their colleagues to learn about G Suite and Google Classroom. All our support staff are participating in a training program with some of our expert teachers this week. And this means we can support some learners individually during June and similarly support learners individually from August in a specific way with both their remote learning and whilst they are in school. We have a pastoral team for each clan who are available to support anyone with any issues or concerns they may have. And we have also highlighted resources on the school website and through various links shared by Peter Bain in his weekly letters. From August, we will have dedicated pastoral time to spend with each young person to identify any vulnerabilities they may have, and to then work with families, teachers, and any of our partners to help support them in whatever way is appropriate. We hope this will aid recovery, increase our resilience and well-being, and help our community flourish.
I hope this has been helpful. I thank you for your time and attention, and I wish you all well for the end of term and for the summer holidays when they arrive. Take good care and be kind to each other. Thank you.